made it to Colts Talk, presented by PrizePicks, the latest with the Indianapolis Colts. Billy BB, glad to be back with you guys here on the show. Also, good to be getting the news from Charvarius Ward, injury news. That is, look, this is a guy that was set to retire, retirement rumors floating in the air. He kind of left that cliffhanger after the 2025 season, played a record low in games last year with concussion issues. It was a big addition for the Colts. Free agency-wise not too long ago, but delivered a positive message today to the media about how he's feeling going into 2026, where he kind of stands. And look, this is a guy that both just before he got to Indy, when he got to Indy, family tragedy he's had to deal with. At the time, his fiance and him were not living together. He moved to Indy on his own after the tragedy. That's tough to deal with. And then, of course, concussions on concussions last year that he had to kind of deal with. And like I said, record low games. So you're moving, you're not playing football, family tragedy, health, all those things going wrong for Charvarius Ward. So yeah, I don't think it was too crazy that this guy considered retiring after the 2025 season. But here's what he had to say as of right now. I just want to go out feeling like I'm playing at my best. Obviously, I want to leave the game in one piece, too, because those concussions, that was kind of crazy last year. But I want to finish the game as one of the best corners in the game, which I respect. Hey, not everybody has that mindset. Not everybody can make that happen. Ward is back with Indy, back for 2026. We love to see it. Good energy for him, which is why we want to show some love to Charvarius Ward right now. You can do it easily. Hit that thumbs up button. You'll see that number go up, up, up. That's the Colts fans that want to show love to Charvarius Ward. Join in and hit that like button right now. I have a big emphasis on Ward coming back and Sauce Gardner for the Indianapolis Colts. Also health issues, right? Different animal there. But you need Sauce to be healthy. You need Ward to be healthy. You need these guys to be the 1-2 punch that you hoped and kind of thought that they could be in general for Indy. Because especially the Colts schedule, I know we didn't break down this aspect of it too much, loaded with good wide receivers that they will have to go at and play. You know your divisional guys, right? The Nico Collins, you've played plenty of times. You'll play plenty of times again. Terry McLaurin for the Commanders, I think could have a bounce-back season. DK is getting a fresh year of Aaron Rodgers, plus some other weapons should upgrade their offense. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb of the Dallas Cowboys, Malik Nabers of the New York Giants. Some health issues there, but I do think he should be able to get back and actually play in this upcoming season. As of right now, you are scheduled to play A.J. Brown with the Eagles. We'll see about that one. And then down the stretch, hoping to make the playoffs, trying to do something good, Jamar Chase and the Cincinnati Bengals, you'll have to go at. So you look at that list of receivers, right? It's not just, I mean, you can say, hey, Sauce, get it together. You got to go against these guys. Probably is Sauce most of the time. But it's also going to be Charvarius Ward going at it with those guys in general. So the Colts are going to need Ward. They're going to need Sauce Gardner. They are going to need both of those guys to kind of have their acts together, to be ready to go. And that's why, you know, we get this slight update from Charvarius Ward where it's like, yeah, I'm back. But it's also like, you needed that, right? You feel good about that. You're happy for the guy that this has happened for him. You're happy that he's kind of, you know, found a way back to positive football and positivity in his life playing for Indianapolis because not only is it good for the person, but it's good for the team in general. So we'll keep an eye on the cornerback situation for Indy and their matchups in the 2026 season. Today's show is presented by America's #1 sports picks app. That is the PrizePicks app. Yeah, the PrizePicks app. I'm on it every single day right now because it is the best place to win cash while watching sports. The basketball playoffs are going on right now, but the basketball playoffs are not going to be going on much longer. Only 4 teams remaining, right? You got to take advantage, if you know ball, of these basketball lineups, the easy to put together lineups where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and then lock in your lineup. Here's an example for a playoff game between Minnesota and San Antonio. Dylan Harper is red hot in this series. He has looked really good. Points, rebounds, assists, combine them more on 19.5. You get all 3 categories there. Combined points and rebounds for Jalen Williams, who looks pretty fresh after dealing with some injuries. Points plus rebounds more, 24.5 there. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, we kind of joke, he's always looking for free throws. You can pick more on free throw attempts for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We did at 8.5 in this 4-pick lineup. And then Victor Wembanyama, who's been shooting it well. Unbelievable. more on the 1.5 3-pointers made for Wemby. Also, social feeds feature. That's been the talk of PrizePicks lately. You can share your picks with your friends, copy lineups with a single click. That includes me and producer Aiden Priest, who puts together a lot of the lineups we show you here on the show, at Billy_BB, at CSAP. New user offer right now. Download the PrizePicks app today with the link in the comment section and description. Then use code HMA. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. And one more time, the new user offer. You want to download the PrizePicks app today with the link in the comments and description, code HMA. Let's talk about replacing Michael Pittman Jr. Look, this is something we've dipped into just a little bit, especially with the free agent market in general. But the Colts today kind of asking Reggie Wayne about the plan a little bit there on filling the space that has been left by Michael Pittman Jr. And that's exactly what Reggie Wayne called it, a big space to fill. Michael Pittman Jr. Traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kind of a money thing at the time. It was kind of a money situation at the time. And look, Reggie Wayne kind of gave his thoughts on, this was a guy in the room. This was a big physical receiver. This was a dude making a difference for our team. And right away, kind of hit me. Leadership's going to be the toughest, replacing Michael Pittman Jr. I really think that with him, and Wayne kind of hit that and hit on that. The numbers are also just going to be the biggest part of it, probably, right? Yeah, you got a lost leader there, but I think guys step up vocally. Guys step up in the locker room. But this is a dude getting close to 1,000 yards. Not 1,000 yards every season, but close to 1,000 yards in the past 4 seasons. And I gave him his credit. Better and better and better. Consistent. Big part of this team, right? Really felt like he was doing more for the Colts in general. Indy now looks, again, you ask guys like Daniel Jones and Alec Pierce, step up vocally, lead this team a little more, lead the offense a little more. But you look at those numbers, you then look to the rest of the team and say to yourselves, okay, we need to start looking at replacing almost 1,000 yards in that receiver group. Now, Reggie Wayne was kind of asked about that as well. And as a good coach will, as a coach at this point in time and where they are, and look, it's not like he could start naming names and having your options there, but he was talking in-house replacements for the Colts, right? Bodies that they're seeing every day, bodies they know about, bodies they've seen in the past that will step up and do a little bit more. And when we did Michael Pittman Jr. replacements, I talked about Alec Pierce should be one of the guys, more catches, more yards, more touchdowns. And Alec Pierce, before he re-signed with the Colts, he talked about it, right? He said, wherever I go next, they're going to pay me a lot, and I'm going to demand more of myself. Well, now is the time, right? You lose that Pittman edge. You lose those Pittman numbers. I am hoping Alec Pierce can step up. Tyler Warren, I love what Tyler Warren did in his first year with the Indianapolis Colts. He also will be tasked with do a little more, a couple more catches, more yards, more touchdowns. And then Josh Downs, who's getting closer to wanting another contract here. He also is going to have to step up and show his worth when he's given more opportunities, when the offense is open for more players to do more. So these are your in-house options, guys that can step up a little bit. One more name I do want to mention. I know we given him fan favorite yet. I definitely feel like the 7th-round pick, Deion Burks, the speedster from Oklahoma. I'm calling him a wild card just because the excitement's there, but we actually have to wait and see, right, on this 7th-round receiver. He is another guy that Reggie Wayne was asked about, all positive stuff. Obviously, he's not going to bash a rookie, but he did include like that light little hey, we have a long way to go with this dude. We still have a couple things we got to get going here. Some stuff we have to make happen with Deion Burks. I get that. So, look, we might be getting ahead of ourselves on this one. I'm excited about the guy, excited about the young player. I like what he did at Oklahoma a lot. I thought he had a good college career. I think he could be a good fit with the Colts at some point in time. And I trust the Colts with some of this development stuff. They've done a really good job at the wide receiver position, whether it be big school, little school, anywhere in between. I think they've done well developing their wide receivers. I think Burks could be the next in line to play a role for the Colts into the future. However, we're talking about replacing Michael Pittman Jr. You're not just putting Deion Burks in that slot and saying, hey, Deion Burks can just do what this guy did last season. Kind of asked this about Kenny Moore, and we got mixed results. I wanted to see how you guys are feeling about this one. Will you miss Michael Pittman Jr.? How are you feeling about it? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Okay, so those were in-house options. out of house options, free agent options, however you want to put it. Look, the Colts have a ridiculous amount of salary cap. They're in the top 10, $30 million, especially for a team like we kind of joked they had to trade Michael Pittman Jr. to get their money together a little bit. They've come out looking really good. They have a ton of cap space at this point in time. They may roll it. Teams like to roll the money of the cap space from one year to the next. It helps them in the next year. That's a possibility. But facts are facts. You have $30 million and some roster holes to spend at this point in time. So I do think it is reasonable to expect the Colts to make some sort of move. At the wide receiver position, that could and should be one of them probably, right? We continue to talk Deebo Samuel. He is a name we have brought up on the show because not only do we think he's a target, but we have brought up ESPN, and now Bleacher Report is the latest to list Indianapolis as like the best destination, fun destination, good fit in general. I've never necessarily seen Deebo as a really great possession receiver. I've never really thought of him as a good route runner necessarily. I've just always thought of him as if you get the dude the ball, he's going to make something happen, right? And a lot of that's the running back stuff. He's done some running back end arounds and make it happen. But I think it's just going to bring some juice to the offense. I kind of talked about it the other day, but that's my thought on adding Deebo to your wide receiver room is, are you getting like this specific skill or this specific, like this is what he'll fit perfectly because you could just like, dude, get him the ball, right? He's another guy that if you get him the ball, he'll get out in space. He'll make plays for you as well. So look, anytime we hear Deebo and the Colts, we're going to keep you guys up to date about it. And we continue to hear Deebo and the Colts. Another name that we hear blank and the Colts, Stefon Diggs. And I'll give a little more credit. This one was a fan one. Fans want it a little bit, but we also saw his name today on Fox Sports mentioning the Colts as a good destination team that should get involved for Stefon Diggs. And I will note, this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, the Bengals would love to have him as a slot receiver, but the Bengals don't have money for him, right? The Colts do. The Colts can make something happen here. Bounce back in 2025 for Stefon Diggs. Look, the legal situation is notable, does have to be noted. He's done with it. He was found innocent, not guilty, however you want to put it. He is past that and looking to move forward. I think that may buy him a little extra time and maybe take a little chunk out of a potential contract. Again, he was healthy last season, played a lot of football, a lot of good football for a team that went to the Super Bowl. I think Stefon Diggs is a really good option for the Colts, and I'd feel really good if he was their number 2. To go Pierce, Diggs, Downs, that's a really, really good 1, 2, 3. But you got to decide between the two. If you could sign one of these receivers, who's it going to be? Deebo Samuel, you can type 1. Stefon Diggs, type 2. Let us know down below. All right, we'll finish out the show with a little bit of some events and things coming up for the Indianapolis Colts. You see some videos and some interviews and some things going on right now. It's just some light stuff, nothing crazy official, just some voluntary workouts, guys getting back in the building, guys getting acclimated. There's specific rules and timing stuff with this. Then the official stuff goes on, OTAs. A little bit broken up. But these guys, they'll be, that'll be like who reported and everybody should be there and they should be working and getting things going at the OTAs there. Should see a lot of guys at that going for the Colts. We already see a lot of guys in the building there. And then that's be the end of May on most of those. And then we'll get into June where we'll start seeing the end of OTAs and mandatory minicamp.